Hello, everyone. It's another beautiful Wednesday afternoon. And my name is Leibella Ralston. I'm also known as Mommy Lay on the internet. Of course, you were joining Michael's Stores in Faber-Castell, USA, and we're going to create something super easy, super simple, but super fun also. So we're going to be a little bit messy today because we're going to be working with some Faber-Castell gelatos, my favorite. But I would like to say hello and thank you for being here with us. It's always an exciting day when when you're with us doing all these classes. And if you're watching this on a replay, make sure to join us. Make sure to sign up for the next class. All right. Okay. So I have the overhead and I can talk to you also on the screen while doing this because I love being engaged. I'll look at the screen for now. Say hello to everybody before we start the class. Hello, Mariana. Hi. Hi, Barbara, Denton, Texas. Hello from Austin. Hi, Tina. Oh my gosh, I need to come see you soon. All right. Hi, Mary, Chile, Ohio. Is it cold in there? Oh my goodness. You know what? I think it started yesterday where we started having a cold front here in Texas, right? Do you feel that? Oh, it feels so good outside. What a blessing. What a beautiful day. Hi, Stephanie. Okay, so hello, everybody. These are the gelatos that I'll be working on today. We have some metallics because look at this beautiful here. I'm going to go just show you the other side like that. This one is I picked up from Michael's, this frame right here. It is just a regular wood like this. I think it was so inexpensive. It was like, I'm gonna guess 99 cents. Something so cheap like that, but it's fun. I mean, I can put it here in the office behind me. I have it on the shelves and you can switch the lettering in here. So if you love doing lettering, you can change this, create that, so upload, put a picture in there or something, but something fun. Okay. I don't know why I put my switcher on the other side. It's hard to move around. So this is what it looks like. But this is what it's going to look like later. So I'll put this on the side now. The colors that I have, we have metallics, iced chai. Ooh, makes me want some latte. I didn't put this on the list, but this is the black licorice. So if you have the black licorice, that's going to work also. I have the galaxy color, this beautiful purple, very deep purple color like that. And then I have one from the Iridescent set. This is the black hole. I love it also because it has that kind of like purple shade, but also black. Iridescent is amazing like that because this is meant to be layered. So gelatos, because they are a creamy pigment stick, when they're water soluble, so we can blend them with water. I actually love using the gelatos, also mixing it with some gesso to create like a thicker consistency of paint. I do that. I mix it with white acrylic to create my own color. Of course, when you use a white acrylic, you're going to lose a little bit of that saturation of color, so you'll make a more like a pastel shade. But if you want more, you just build the intensity, then you keep adding more of the pigment, right? So I just love using the gelatos because they're so versatile. I use it for lettering, I use it for coloring, I use it for crafts like this. It's just super fun. All right, and then the brushes that I'm using today, I will be using the one from Folk Art. I love it because these are very stiff, like very hard type of brushes. I think stencil brushes is what they're called. I am not super sure, but they're like flat, stiff brush like that. If you don't have it, it's okay. If you have a blending brush per se like this is going to work. Or if you have other flat brush like this, it's going to work too. The only reason why I like this one, because look how short it is. So this one is a bit long. So, when you're trying to blend something, it might be a bit harder. This one, you can really kind of like smudge the gelatos in there and really pack the colors in. And so I love these ones. You can also use your fingers. This is going to work too, or fingers by smudging, because we're going to make some mess in here. All right. I'm going to move my paper first because I'll add some lettering in there. We need water. We need paper towels. If you have baby wipes, that's going to work. I just have paper towels in here. If you have a blow dryer, so you can dry the first layer first. If you have that, to pick it up. I have my heat gun, my heat tool. I use the one from Ranger, the craft tool, because it's really hot. It gets really hot, but it's also not loud and obnoxious. Sometimes some other tools like that are super loud. Okay, so we're going to start with the layer of the galaxy. We want to really cover this whole thing with the purple color. I have a bowl of water. Did I mention that? You can use a bowl of water. Now I'm going to look up the chat while we're doing this, so I can see some of your questions if you have any, and then we'll proceed to the fun. All right, for the gelatos, what you can do is I'm going to put my brush in here in the water. You can wet it a little bit just to activate the gelatos in there. This is just a plastic thing, so you're not going to hurt anything in here. Move it over here also. All right. Mariana said she actually decorated my frame in the morning. You did already? Oh, goodness. Hi, Tina. Hello. Hi, Alice. Chilly, Northwest Florida. Really? Oh, my goodness. Okay, so Steph is asking, what can you use if you don't have those brushes? Like I said, fingers, but it might just be a little hard. So if you want to grab just maybe a baby wipes, but when we use baby wipe, what's going to happen is the baby wipe is going to pick up some of the colors. So you might have to pack the colors in if you really want an opaque color in here to cover the wood. Okay. All right. So hello, Kelly from California. Hello, everyone. Okay. So gelatos, you can apply them directly like this. And then you can use the brush to start putting in all the colors. See how the stiff brush is just so much better. And I'll show you if I'm going to use the regular brush that I have. This is from one of my kids' sets, but any brush will do. See? So you can do that as well. It might just take a while because this one is wider, so it's going to cover a much bigger space, larger space. Just gonna do that. And I'm not trying to be perfect for the first layer because we're going to add a couple of layers in here. Now, you know, they always say you have to use some gesso in here first. I agree, but for this one, it's just a very simple craft. I don't think I needed the gesso because with the wood also, the gelatos are really sticking in there really well. Just going to cover that part. I think you'll be able to cover larger area if you do it this way, if you apply the gelatos directly into the wood. Now, if you're using a different frame, of course, a different wood, it's okay too. I have a lot of those because I love decorating my, just creating simple crafts like this. Especially Christmas is just right around the corner. So if you don't have the brush, I'll show you. You want to make sure that you wet your pointer finger first, or whichever finger you're going to use, and then blend it like that. And actually, when you're using your finger, look how much saturated the colors are. See that? But this is how amazing these gelatos are. So blendable, so easy to blend like that. The only problem with if we're using our fingers is that we won't be able to get into the cracks. Like for this one, for example, see that one might be just hard. So I think you're going to need a brush in there so you can really get into those cracks of the wood, the in between, like that. But look how much saturation there is when I use my finger. Wow, surprise. Okay, wowie, okay. All right. I'm gonna go continue. And also the gelatos, once they're dry, they're actually going to be water resistant. And that's why I love using the gelatos when I'm doing some mixed media projects, because especially if I don't want to blend my colors, if I want to have, separate layers of colors that I know I'm going to be doing, then I will definitely grab my gelatos for those projects. Because if I use a watercolors, and when I add another layer of color, it's just going to blend with the other colors I used. So you want to make sure you get into underneath all that. Like that. We want to cover also the sides, just this one over here. I think last year we created a project where we used a fabric. I think we used a fabric pouch and used the gelatos to color it in and decorate that one. That was super fun also. I just love how versatile this gelatos are. Just be careful if you're like rough wood in there and you're going to use your fingers. So just be mindful. You might get some splinters. I'll put it over here, and then I'll use my brush, just blend it onto the sides. Gelatos also, they dry quickly, so you want to move just a little fast when you're blending the colors and all that. Just make sure they're covered like this. No, they're not pastel, because these are creamy pigment. They're not made out of oil, so they're water soluble. So pastel is different. I love working with pastels too, but the pastel, usually you have to have a finisher for that one. With the gelatos, I never had any issue of transfer. That's the one thing. Even when I'm using this in my journal, as long as I let it air dry and all that, I don't have to worry about spraying it to finish it, because pastel, it's going to transfer no matter what. And I have, in the beginning, I was working with some pastel and I didn't know that, this was years ago, and it just smeared and transferred all over. So that was, I'm like, oh, okay, so I have to finish pastel. With the gelatos, really, you can use some Mod Podge if you like, just to protect the colors. But I've never had any issue with this one. I would color some ceramics also that I get from Michael's, like some cute, I have a unicorn that I picked up from Michael's and I colored it in with some gelatos. Never had to set it, but you can, of course. There we go. Right, this one, feel your wood. It fits just a little bit moist. And I think I'm going to keep adding because I really want to pack the colors in here. See where we can see still the white part of the wood. Now, if you like that look, by all means, you can stop it here and we can keep adding more of the black for the second layer. But I think I want to add a little bit more coverage in here. Yes, absolutely. Yes. You can use the black licorice. Now with the black licorice, the black licorice, be gentle because a little bit goes a long way. And so what we want to create is like depth. So I'm going to grab this one, the one that's finished already. So I added a little bit. So it's kind of like the colors are all over the place. See this one's, that's the black licorice. That's the black hole, but you can use the black licorice on that. So the black licorice or the black hole is going to be the second layer. And I'm not done with my first. So I'm just going to finish this up and keep adding more coverage. Go in the cracks and all that. I always suggest getting a silicone like this because it covers my desk, see? So even if I make a mess, it's okay. I can clean this up with just a washcloth and all that. Amy, I want to say yes. Watercolor crayons, yes and no. It's going to be hard. Of course, they're going to be a different, physically, they're very different, but they're both water soluble. So yes, but I wouldn't use my watercolor crayons for this one just because the wood is rough, first of all. And I think there are more surfaces that a gelato can be used with. Like what I said, we use that with a fabric. You can use this with ceramics, with wood, with paper. I have never tried it with plastic, but I'm assuming you can use it with plastic as long as we kind of create or prime that surface first, so the gelatos will go on top easily. There we go. How's that? How is yours looking? Okay, I'm gonna grab my black coal like this. Yeah, Mary's right. The gelatos are really just much smoother and creamier. And also the flat surface of the gelatos makes it easy to kind of like pick up if you're using a brush per se. You know, with the watercolor crayons, it'll be hard to kind of put that on the surface. So I would not suggest it. And you can pick up the colors from here like that. Okay, so this is my black licorice. I'm gonna go apply it and create like, stick to an area. So here, look how gorgeous that is when you layer that on top of it. Just gonna use my finger. Wow. So what I'm doing is I'm just adding a little bit of depth in where the cracks, like that. So you're going to really smudge it for smoother blend. Now you can have it more precise strokes if you want, but for this look, I want that smooth gradient and that smooth blend. Just like that. I feel like here I didn't blend this enough, so I'm gonna go in while it's still wet, add a little bit of water and go keep smudging and blending. Because again, once they're dry, they're gonna be permanent. So while it's still moist and, you know, wet, you want to take advantage of that if you want to do a little bit more blending. Because once that dry, that is not going to move. Oh, Kelly, I think you will really, really love the gelatos. I mean, when I first got my set of gelatos, I am not going to lie. I was like, oh, how do you use this thing? What is this? Is this a crayon? Is this I was a bit confused. And then I just started playing with it. I started playing with the tool and different types, I would apply it directly onto the page. I would use a brush. I would use my finger. I would smudge. I mean, everything. And I think that's how you're going to really learn, is not to be afraid to make mistakes, because you are going to make mistakes and that is okay. That's part of that fun. Look how different that is, because this one we still can see the wood pattern, which is absolutely beautiful. That texture, it's gorgeous. And that's what I love about the gelatos, because it is semi-transparent, but of course, translucent, but you can pack it. You can really add saturation and opacity. If we use an acrylic paint to this one, we're going to lose all that beautiful texture of that wood. And that's what I didn't want to lose. I wanted that to still show up. And I know that it's wood instead of it just being covered by a paint, an acrylic. And plus, it's fun to get dirty. Look, later finger. So just adding a little bit water. We'll just add and blend and smudge. And as you can see, the way I'm doing is I'm not going round in circle. I'm just going in one direction, going horizontal way so we can follow that texture as well, the natural texture that the wood has. And so just adding that. I'm not going against that texture. Adding more in there. That. Look, wow. I really love it. And also what we're going to create today might look totally different from how I created the first time. And I think that's always, to me, that's always the fun part, because it's kind of like, at least you have the idea, you know, we have the colors, we have all that, but the way I would blend it today would be different than the way I blended it in the first time I created the classes. So super fun. I don't know if I want to keep this part right here dark or keep this light. I don't know, we'll try. I think I want to make it dark. So I'm going to go here, and to go underneath this time, I'm going to need some brush. So I'm going to grab, maybe I'll grab the tiny brush, some little one. Go get really into the underneath there. Just moving all that. And of course, the more water you use, the more diluted the gelatos are going to be. So less color, less pigmentation. So if you want more colors, then just add more layers or use less water. But if you use less water, it might be hard to blend also and move around the pigments. So just play around with that amount of water, the amount of gelatos you need. There, make sure, get in there, just cover it. And there's also many different types of Mod Podge that you can use. You can actually add some of their glitter ones and Mod Podge it with glitter. This is going to look pretty to finish it. Oop, I don't like that. Uh-oh. Grab it and just blend. And it's okay for the metal. We can clean that later. I'm going to add some depth in here, so I'll add some in there. See, when you don't have enough water, it's much harder to blend it. So you want to pick up enough water to move all those pigments around. Like that. I wanted to show you different applications so you can see what it looks like when you're using a brush and what it looks like when it's blended with just your finger. I think there's more opacity when you're using your finger and just a little bit of water. It's just a little bit of water and just kind of like smudge. Like that. And I didn't cover this part right here. So come back in and just add my galaxy. Gelatos comes in many different sets. There's metallic finish, there's pastel set, there's the brights, there's an iridescent. I love the iridescent. And also there's a translucent. I actually picked up a set of translucent because that's the only one I don't have. So I just pick up a set. And I'm going to play with some translucent. I think the translucent set one is meant to be layered also. It has a different finish to your colors if you add translucent on top. And the good thing about the gelatos, Kelly, if this is your first time you're going to try them, You can buy them, order them individually also. So they're available open stock. So you don't have to buy the whole big set. You know, I don't like it when it's kind of like I'm so limited to buying one big set, especially if I just want to try a new medium. So it's nice that it's available open stock, because to me as an artist and as a consumer, I really appreciate that I can just choose the colors that I want and then decide, play with it and decide if it's something that's for me, you know. All right, I love that. Okay, I'm gonna grab my heat tool, clean my finger. Look how I'm a mess. Goodness. But easily clean up though, just like this. I'm not gonna clean up too much because we're gonna need it. I love having a spray like that, because I can spray my area and just for the easy cleanup like that, and grab my paper towel. Just gonna pick up as I go. I love to clean up as I go along, because if it's too much of a mess, I get overwhelmed, and then that's all I can think about is the mess I'm creating. It's like, oh, I'm such a mess. Just helpful. So I play with many different types of medium, watercolor, markers, you know, inks, different types of inks, splatters, and everything. There we go. Good enough. All right, so let me grab my heat gun. Just gonna go over it. So once we dried this one, once we heat set it, this is going to be, that's right, permanent. So be careful with your heat tool also. This gets really hot, so just be careful. And we're going to see if the colors are going to change once they are dry. If the colors are going to fade a little, we'll find out. It's so beautiful though. Look at that wood texture. It shows up. Something I love about that. Now for the ice chai that we're going to use, the gold one, we're going to add just like small strokes of that one all over the place. So that's just going to be part of the accent. The colors are not budging at all. It's like remain as opaque as it was when we applied it. Look at that, even when it's drying. And I love that the metallic, it's still metallic, the sheen to it, it's still there. That's beautiful. Now, like what I said, we can choose to finish this with a Mod Podge later. So we can see, I have some Mod Podge in here. Okay, so I think theirs is dry. That's completely dry. Oops, I have a piece of gelato in there. Like that. I am not super happy with that one. What is going on here? I don't know what happened there. It's kind of like looking funky there. Okay, that's going to bother me just a little bit, so I'm going to fix it. Just kind of looks weird, that's why. I'm going to use the Galaxy just so I can have like a purple shade in there. This Galaxy color is so beautiful. Just a gorgeous deep shade of purple. So perfect. 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 All right. Pick you up. Okay, so ice chai. If you don't have the ice chai, Let me grab some of my gelatos in here. You might see them. I have all my sets in here. This one's. I love organizing them that way because I love seeing all the colors of what I need next and all that. There we go. Pretty. So if you don't have the iced chai, let's just grab something. Gold champagne might work. Amy, if you're going to use it, for example, when I'm using it in my journal. Okay, so if I'm using it in my journal, some papers they're all different. For example, I'm using a regular copy paper and then I use the gelatos on top of it. The reason why people are not loving the gelatos, from just based from what I'm hearing, is that it leaves some strokes and they don't like those strokes. They don't like the texture that it leaves, kind of like crayons. Now we're all different. That's why I'm saying is because we have different preferences. So the time that you use the gelatos, you gesso your surface is because that it's going to have a much smoother blending. It's not going to leave a mark. It's not going to stain the paper, so that you can blend it smoothly and it will have a much better gradient without all those strokes like the crayon strokes. Now, I don't mind having them every once in a while, especially depends on the project that I'm working on. So if I have a journal, this is what I do all the time, is that I would pick one color from any brand of what I'm using, what medium also. I apply it with a gesso surface and then a non-gesso surface. So I can see how it blends with the non-gessoed and the gessoed surface. With the gelatos, I don't normally gesso my journals like that, just because I just really enjoy that texture. And knowing that it's going to leave the texture, I would work a bit faster. So if you don't want any of the textures and if you want the gelatos to go on much smoother, I would suggest gessoing your surface first. I hope that answered your question. Okay, so here we go. I think this is all dry. Now we can start adding our beautiful gold metallics. I used the iced chai on this one, but I have a gold champagne here as well. You might be able to use the gold champagne. If you don't have either of those, we can grab some of the metallic icing. It's going to be white though, instead of gold. You can use metallic icing. It's going to be white. Now there's also a silver one, the silver ice. So those are the ones that you can use today. Or if you have other colors that you want to layer on top of that, that's totally fine. Okay, so iced chai and gold champagne. We're trying both so we can see, right? We'll put that on the side. Here we go. I'll start with the gold champagne and see what it's going to look like. I'll start really, really tiny, smaller part, just like that. I'm going to zoom it in so we can really see. Here we go. Like that. And then I'll smudge it. This time I don't have a wet finger, just a moist one. That. And then I'll put the iced chai on top just so we can see the difference. See, this one is a much lighter color of gold. The iced chai is more like coppery. It really has this beautiful warmth tone to it. Can I see the difference in that? So that's the gold champagne, a much lighter gold finish. And then the iced chai is like really has warmth to it. So that's the difference. I think I'm going to stick to my iced chai. I like that better. So I'm going to cover this part where we added the gold champagne and just a little bit. We'll do that. Again, the gelatos are so versatile because you can blend them wet or dry. This time I'm just using a dry brush and I'm blending the gelatos. So you can smudge it and blend it And since I'm using a brush, this is a stiff brush. It's going to leave a little bit of that brush stroke. See, if I use my finger, I think it will much be smoother, especially if we apply just a bit pressure, just so we can smudge it really well, like that. It's beautiful. Okay, zoom out. Oops, sorry. Zooming in. Here we go. Perfect. And I'm going to add just accent of gold. I don't want it all over. I mean, all over, but spread out. I should add. And I'm just going to use my finger. So as you can see, we blended the gelatos wet earlier. Now we're blending it dry. Let's smudge it. Because I want all that colors in there. I don't want to blend it with water because I don't want to lose the opacity of the gelato. So keeping it dry. That's beautiful. I'll add a little bit something here. And also our fingers, we have natural oil, you know, it really does help when blending that. Just that. You can do short strokes or long strokes, as long as you apply just a bit of pressure to really smudge the gelatos. And then over here in just small corners, I'm just going a little lighter. In the middle where I applied directly the gelatos, I apply a bit pressure to smudge and then just kind of go light as I go on the sides. See the natural textures over here where the highlights are? Some of that part of the wood is exposed. So I'll cover some of that. Follow the natural highlights that we created when we painted. See how sheen and metallic this is. Look at that. It's pretty. That one's going to be much longer. And again, the middle part, just kind of pressure a little bit and then go ease up on that pressure. Here, I'm just extending the strokes on the sides, just like that, in those corners. I feel like we lost a lot of the purple in here, but it's okay. Now, if you feel like you want a bit more purple, you can always add more purple, you know, before you add your gold. Just like that. And we'll follow here, just in the middle. It's pretty. Maybe a bit here. Just like that. Some on the sides. I like projects like this where it's like not a whole lot of thinking is required, you know, so it's like super fun and super easy, just not a whole lot of calculating and not a whole lot of thinking, just pure having fun. I mean, what are you going to do if you mess it up? Get another one. So inexpensive. I think it's always that experience of creating something is what's really brings me joy. It's like, well, you can buy something like that. I know, but there's something different when you created something. Creativity. We love doing this. I love doing this with my daughter, my 12-year-old daughter. We love doing crafts together. We love making our own jewelries. and all the fun stuff. It's just a perfect bonding moment. Just like that. I think I'm good with my gold. What do you guys think? I want to add a little bit more of the black hole in here. I feel like this one just a little bit though. Just add something in there. This time I'm gonna wet my finger just a little bit. So I can have a smoother blend with this one. So if you have like areas where you feel like you want to add a little bit more depth, so use the black licorice or either that or the black hole, whichever one you have. So here I'm just adding a little bit more drama, more depth. So just adding a little bit of that black hole in there. See how it's going to, we're adding intensity. Just like that. And this time my finger's just a bit wet. Just like that. Maybe I'll add a little bit here also. Just look at that. All right, how's yours doing? If you're creating along with us today, we would love to see it. If you follow us on social media, also make sure to use the hashtag Make It With Michaels in Michael's classes. And also make sure to follow Faber-Castell USA for more inspiration and more fun techniques and about their products. Here we go. I think I'm super loving this. I'm good with my gold. Now for the next thing that we're going to create, I am going to I'm going to put my gelatos away. Since we didn't use a whole lot of water, I don't think I need to dry it, but to just heat set everything. So everything's like set in this wood. I'm just going to go over it just real quick, just to make sure. Like that. For example, I would paint the metallic part here, not with the gelatos because I don't think it'll cover it, but I would use gesso in this one so that there's a surface that it will hold on to. So even acrylic paint, I'll gesso this surface and then paint it. So think of that as your primer, so I know that the wood, it's going to take in that gelatos really well. So I didn't worry about adding some gesso to this one. Look at that beautiful gold. That's so beautiful. It's like perfect accent to it. Thank you so much, Kelly. I know it turned out so pretty. When I create classes like this, I want it to be something like everyone can enjoy. You get out of the class and you feel like, you know what, I really wanted to try that. And that's my goal. Something simple, but everyone can do, not so overwhelming that it's kind of scary to start and get, try. But this one is like no brainer. You guys can do this and it's going to turn out so pretty. You can use it for Christmas also, Christmas colors and all that. So allow me to just clean up just a little bit. Okay. So now, like what I said, we can do a little bit of lettering, but I also want to add just some more accent to this wood. Now I have my Faber-Castell, the PITT artist pens. Now, the thing that comments that I'm getting on Instagram is that, when I use my gelatos, I cannot put any marker on top of it. First of all, maybe you didn't smudge it and blend it enough so that there's like so many thick, there's still consistency, that thick consistency of the gelatos in there, and of course, if you're using a brush pen or a bullet nib, those properties are going to get on top of your nib, and that's really going to stop you from writing anything on top of the gelatos, so make sure everything's blended smoothly, then you'll have no problem. And if you ever do, sometimes there's a buildup, what I do is I just grab a piece of paper towel and just kind of go around with my nib to kind of clean up my nib if there's any buildup of any gelatos in there. I'm just going to add stars in here. You can add stars. I love using simple shapes as accents like this. I don't like to create super hard, complicated things that it's taking out the joy of creating. I hope that makes sense. I mean, I love creating, but when I'm in just in the mood to create, I don't want overly complicated. I just want to have fun. So even if you're like following me on social media, you're going to see, you know, my journals, my bullet journals, my drawings, my doodles. It's like always just on the simple side of things, because if not, I think with all of the other responsibilities of being a grown up, sometimes it's hard to keep up, you know, with everything. So this is my downtime, but I'm so blessed that I'm doing this for work. So I get to create also, but still, I like to do things simple. See here, we have a whole lot more gelatos in here. So I feel like I'm getting a little bit of buildup on my brush tip. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of go over it like this, clean it up, and try it again. See? Add dots. I love the PITT Artist pens because some markers, you have to shake it, pump it, pump it. It's like sometimes I end up with a mess because one time I was doing this and the nib was just kind of like all over the place. So I had gold inks everywhere. So I'm concentrating on just the side because if we're going to put anything in the middle part, you know, it's going to be covered anyways, but that's your choice. You can, you know, either cover the middle part also. So if you don't have anything, it's just all balanced, the whole frame, you know, you have some in the middle. So it doesn't matter. We can add some, even though it's going to be covered. But if you don't have any art, your frame is still beautiful. Just like that. And what I like to do when I'm adding accents like this, I like to play around with my size. Some stars are, you know, smaller. The others are much bigger, and also play around with the direction of your stars. Although with the stars, I think it will be hard because they kind of just look alike. Yes, just a bunch of hocus pocus. Of course, you can use other metallic. Yes, please feel free to do so. So the PITT Artist pens, they are India ink. Okay, so they're not oil, they're not alcohol. So these are odorless. That's one thing I love about it. I don't get dizzy using them. And also you can use it here. Like, see, you can use it on a glass also. I actually personalize one of my favorite Starbucks cup with the metallic markers. Just love doing that. Sometimes my husband goes like, did you buy it like that or did you add that? I just like adding some small quotes or words of affirmation. I like personalizing things. There. You can add like a quote that's like, another glorious morning, ha ha ha, from Hocus Pocus also. Or just your name if you're going to put it in your office, you know, something so neat. Yes, Kelly, no pumping or shaking. Go straight. Here we go. I think I need a little one here. Now we can choose to add a little bit more, like a white one maybe. I have the white PITT Artist pens in the 2.5, or what is the size of this? But this one is the big bullet tip. This is a 1.5, then I am going to say this is a, whoa, much bigger. So I'm going to add like small dots of white on top, just like that. And I'm going to spread them out equally all over so they balance. This one also, no pumping or shaking with the white. I think I'm good. Look at that. This is so pretty. That is so pretty. For our lettering, where is the cardstock? I'm going to use the PITT Artist pens. Oh my gosh, we got a little bit of gelatos in there. I'll go on the other side. Okay. Those little tiny ones, make sure to clean those up, because if they are not blended, they are going to, look, you can still pick them up. So just clean up. Here. All right, which one do we like better? I think this one, we have a bit more purple left. I think this one, I kind of go overboard with that black hole. See the difference? We still have more of that purple. I think that's more Halloweenish than this one. I feel like this one, I really covered it up. But still, we have the wood texture. It's gorgeous. I think I love this one that we created today. This one's my favorite. I like it. All right, so for a quick lettering, if you want to learn lettering, we have a lot of classes available on Michael's YouTube channel. Past classes that we created, so you can watch the replay in there. But also, I would like to invite you for next week's class. I'm going to create, if you're going to attend, this is a premium class because it's going to take a while. We're going to create a card. We're going to doodle. I have some drawings, the printables that you can print if you don't want to start from scratch, but I'll teach you how to create this cute little tiny witch in there with this super cute, adorable cat. We're going to create some backgrounds. See the clouds in there? That's using some stencils that you can buy from Michael's. And also we're going to create that background using the gelatos also. So we need some blending brush for that, some gelatos, some cardstocks, but it's going to be a whole lot of fun. So that's next week, guys. All right, so for quick lettering, I think I'm going to put in trick or treat. I think it's perfect. That's what we did last week. But last week we did use the Albrecht Dürer watercolor markers. But this time I'm going to use the PITT Artist pen and the brush. And we're going to keep things simple. I'm going to put in trick or treat. And this is what we're going to do. Brush lettering is about 2 strokes. The heavy pressure, which is your downstroke, and also the light pressure when you're doing your upstroke, and that's where the thin is. So it's about the thin and thick, and that's what makes the brush lettering beautiful, because you have that variation from the thick and the thin lines. All right, so so when you're seeing all those thick lines, notice that all of that are done when I'm doing a downstroke, or every single time I'm writing towards my body, and I go light and go thin when I'm going up or away from me. Trick. And I'll do the word treat first. Or treat. Write the word or in the middle. I love it. I'm just going to add a little bit of purple for the drop shadow so we can have it like with our frame. Oh, and I'm going to choose which side. So drop shadow, when you're adding your drop shadow, you have to choose from the left or the right. That's kind of like when I used to sing when I was young. I have 2 hands, the left or the right. Okay, so I'm going to choose, I think, the left side. So the left part of each letter, I'm going to add this purple color. This one is Purple Violet 136. I'm just going to add, stop there. That. So the left part, the left side of this one is here. This, the left side of this, right here. This one, you know what? I think it's a 4x6. Add it here. And then now that you have the frame, you can change your lettering every day and you can display it in your office, in your home. Left side. So only the left side. Like that. Go on the left side of this one. And the key also to a successful lettering is practice. You know, there's no secret recipe. There's no fast forward formula. It's just really practice and practice and practice. Here we go. You can add some orange in here just to match everything. As you notice, I love adding stars. Diamonds will work also. But I think adding like small accents like this really does, for me at least, it does complete the look. Instead of it being so empty, and I'll add some small dots using the yellow. The orange one that I use, the color that is the orange glaze 113, and this one is the cadmium yellow 107. Just add some yellow in there. But this is it, you guys. Look at what we created. That was super fun. Trick or treat. All right. I hope you guys enjoy this class. I cannot thank you enough for always joining. It's always nice to see some friends here joining every Wednesday, you know, being creative with us, staying creative with us. Again, my name is Soleil. You can follow me on social media at Mommy Lay. If you have any questions that I was not able to answer today, you can follow me on social media, send me a message, say hi, you know, just keep in touch. I'd love to be a part of your creative journey, whatever I can do to help. But anyways, guys, thank you so much. Thank you for creating along. Again, I'll see you. I hope to see you next week for a premium class. Stay creative and stay happy. God bless you all. Bye.